Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. Today's webinar, Elevating Customer Experience, Why Clienteling is the Future of Retail. I'm your host, Katie Tame, and I'm thrilled to have two experts from BSPK with us, Zornitza Stefanova, CEO, and Meiling Fournier, VP of Sales. Welcome, Zornitza and Meiling. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Looking forward for the discussion.
Thank you. Okay, so let's kick things off by discussing the importance of customer experience in today's retail landscape. Zornitza, can you share why customer experience has become such a crucial factor for retail brands, especially in 2024?
Well, let me start by saying that customer experience has always been important. And what's different in the current environment is that brands need to tailor to the personalization need of the customer. The customer today has a lot of choices. They're overwhelmed with messaging. Getting from one opportunity to shop to another is easier than ever. And so for brands to stand out in this increasingly competitive environment, the key differentiator is the customer relationship. And a brand that makes an investment in that customer relationship and the customer experience that goes with it is truly poised to succeed, because that improvement in the relationship is what drives long-term loyalty. And the other thing I would add to why customer experience is so important is that we have this merging of online in-store experience and, in addition to that, digital communication. And across all three channels, it's important to connect the dots and to make the customer feel recognized and appreciated.
Thank you, Zornitza. I think that's a great point. The shift towards experience over product is really clear. Meiling, from a sales perspective, how has this shift impacted the way retail brands are approaching their strategies?
It has a huge impact. Sales strategy are no longer just about pushing products. They're really about building relationship. And to do that, brands need to understand that their customer on a deeper level, which means using data to personalize each interactions. So this is where clienteling comes into play. And with a clienteling solution like ours, sales teams can leverage precious information based on the communication or the interaction they had with their customer, and then this information shows into the customer profile as a preference, the purchase history, the notes, the reminders, about birthdays or details like this. And it allows the sales team to offer tailored recommendation and an experience that will resonate for their customers. So that does not only drive sales, but it also builds loyalty for the brand.
Thank you. So we often hear about CRM systems and their role in managing customer data. Zornitza, could you explain how clienteling differs from traditional CRM systems and why it's more effective for today's retail environment?
Absolutely. CRM is kind of the foundation of the initial touch point with the customer. CRM is a way to acquire, store customer data, manage, segment customer data, with the objective to undertake broad campaigns that address a certain segment of the clientele and establish that first touch point, or it's also a way to stay top of mind for the customer. And that has been utilized for many, many years. Every brand has that in their tool set, or at least should have that in their tool set by now. But where clienteling is coming to the fore as a top priority for those brands who really understand the importance of that client experience we spoke about, is that clienteling takes that connection to the customer to the next level. It truly personalizes it. And the distinction between kind of the broad marketing outreach to, oh, you are now a recognized customer by our brand. We offer you a curated experience with the human touch. We know who you are. We want to help you. We're here to truly make you feel special. That is exactly what in the current environment converts a prospect into an actual customer, and what also converts a one-time customer into a repeat customer. Why? Because as we spoke a moment ago, that personalization aspect, especially when human touch is added, creates the lasting loyalty and the affinity between brand and customer. And so to summarize, I would say CRM is essential, but clienteling in the current environment is where actually the business results in terms of sales, ROI, conversion, loyalty, customer satisfaction score really materialize.
Thank you, Zornitza. I think it's so important to understand that distinction. Meiling, how have you seen brands benefit from adopting clienteling?
Actually, the benefits of doing clienteling are really important because, as Zornitza mentioned earlier, CRM is great, but with clienteling, you will really, refine your conversation with the client. And brands that adopt clienteling have a higher conversion rate. Clients become more loyal, and they can also, use efficiently the use of the sales team's time. So, of course, as Zornitza said earlier, CRM builds awareness, and it's great for, addressing a large amount of, people. But then clienteling really allows you to be a very, personalized shopper and understanding your client very closely.
Wonderful. And now we'll move on to real world impact success stories. So let's talk some success stories. Zornitza, can you share how BSPK's clienteling platform has transformed the customer experience for some of your clients?
Absolutely. At a high level, it's the results are always around sales growth and loyalty, meaning bringing existing customers closer to the fold of the brand, getting more repeat business, and that is where sort of at a high level the success stories have been. I can point out two specific examples to illustrate this a bit more deeply. We have a luxury fashion brand as a customer, and they were truly suffering. Foot traffic was down, customer engagement was down, sales were down. And when they developed a strategy with BSPK and rolled out BSPK throughout all of their boutiques worldwide, the results were amazing. And they were amazing in two ways. First of all, that brand was able to re-engage customers who had literally not shopped for more than 2 years. That completely lapsed. So that brought an immediate sales lift. And then the second point was that they achieved 26% increase in sales from repeat customers, converting one-time buyers into repeat buyers. And for this brand, the overall results were truly phenomenal. It was less than 6 months into rolling out BSPK that those results were not only realized, but it was just, the brand management came to us and said, oh, we really need to push this even harder. This is amazing. The second example I would give is with a different kind of customer in the wine and spirits industry, and they deployed BSPK with a specific goal in mind, which was to engage customers around a new product line they had launched, and it was incredibly successful. They had rolled out that new product line 3 months earlier with minimal response and engagement from customers. It kind of didn't resonate as they had expected, despite substantial marketing campaigns surrounding the marketing of that product. And then they rolled out BSPK, and they developed a strategy, a very specific plan around a customer segment they went after. And 3 months after the rollout of clienteling, 50% of the people who were clienteled bought that new product line. And so, again, an amazing success. And I think in both of these cases, if I was to summarize, the key factors were management's engagement in the importance of clienteling, prioritization of that effort, and a dedicated strategy around what are we trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish. So super, super successful.
Gosh, those are some really impressive results. Thank you. So as we look forward to the future, what do you both see the role of clienteling in retail, especially with ongoing digital transformation?
You want me to respond? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Zornitza.
Go ahead, Meiling. You take it first.
No, I think no, but as Zornitza said, it's very interesting that she used two very different companies that were doing clienteling. One is a retail brand, the other one is a wine and spirit. And yes, the retail landscape is evolving. The customer expectations are evolving because, as you know, there is many offer out there. And clienteling, a platform like ours, BSPK, we evolve as well with our clients because we listen to their needs, to their requests, and we really try to adapt and to make sure that we're on top of the game, to be connected to all the tools they already have, and also offer them a great experience so that they can then push this experience toward the client. So yeah, we really stay ahead of the curve, and we are able to adapt also to different luxury landscape. It be wine, or it can be diamonds, or shoes. We have many different kind of enterprise we're working with. So yeah, so we really working hard to make sure we're really on top of the game. I don't know if you say this the same way.
Thank you so much, Meiling. And Zornitza, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's clienteling is pivotal for the future of retail, especially considering Gen Z. Gen Z is the generation that's accustomed to a different way of engaging. It's super personalized. It's very fast. It's very visual. These are, people who grew up on Instagram and TikTok, and the proximity to both their experiences and the purveyors of those experiences. And as we spoke before, generally speaking, the future of retail is around the customer experience. So experience is, I would write that word with a capital E. So clienteling is truly a demonstration of a brand's commitment to invest in the client relationship, in the personalization, in the customer. Again, it's not just about the product now, it's about the customer, even more so than before. And secondly, the role of clienteling is pivotal in brands' ability to bring data into one place. With BSPK, from the very beginning, we took an approach where everything a salesperson needs is in one app. It's easy to access. It's available at the fingertips of the salesperson in order to be able to interact with their client. And from a strategic point of view, I would say clienteling is key, because all three constituents in the relationship, in the selling relationships, win. It's the customer who is now part of a personalized experience. Is the brand who is able to grow sales and develop loyalty. And it's also the staff of the brand that is engaged and empowered. And all these three constituents are critical to create that customer experience we talked about at the very beginning.
Wonderful. Zornitza and Meiling, what are some key takeaways our listeners should come away with for this webinar?
I'll take that to start. The key takeaways are clienteling is the future of brand differentiation, period. I feel very, very strongly about this from everything we've seen with our customers and everything we're seeing in the marketplace. And it needs to be taken as a top priority because it truly is transforming brands now. Brands are having a hard time in the current environment, and those that are taking immediate action or enhancing existing clienteling efforts are the ones that are doing well. And secondly, clienteling is essential for a strategic approach to a brand's development because it offers visibility. You cannot manage what you cannot see. And when you have clienteling or a solution like BSPK, which is built for the sales advisor, but provides complete visibility to the management of a brand, it's possible to then know what are my sales advisors doing in my store? How are they serving my customer? How are they engaging our customers? And how are they developing our customers? So those would be the key takeaways I would offer from this session.
Thank you, Zornitza. That was great. Meiling, any key takeaways?
Actually, Zornitza stated the most of it, and I agree with her. I think, no enterprise should wait to care for their customer. And if they have the help of a digital tool that can help them organize and see and adopt a strategy, it's even better. So do clienteling the way you can, but there are some tools out there who are here to help you that can be very effortlessly implemented. And company like ours can help in consulting and explaining and training, because clienteling can sound like a word that is a bit new for some companies, and it's just caring for your client in a very nice way, caring for your client and having the right tool. So yeah, just don't be scared and try it, and get interested into this, because I think it's the future of business. Yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you. That was wonderful. So we've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm sure our audience has some questions. We'll now open the floor for a Q&A session. If you have any questions for Zornitza or Meiling, please type them in the chat and we will get to as many as we can. Okay. Zornitza, one of our attendees is asking, what industries beyond luxury fashion, wine and spirits do you see benefiting the most from clienteling?
Every industry where the client experience matters benefits from clienteling. And I will try to summarize this very simply. In our lives, we have the things we want and we have the things we need. The things we need, we go to the store, we buy them, we go on Amazon, we buy them on Amazon. We want to be done as fast as possible because it's a very transactional type of shopping. The things we want are very emotional. The experience matters, the connection matters, the product matters, being able to touch, see, feel special. All of these things are absolutely essential. And so, when we think about which are the industries that offer that, for sure, personal goods, jewelry, wine, hospitality, travel, experiences, spas. In essence, anything that makes our life more fun, more enjoyable, takes us out of the daily workflow and creates an experience. That is where clienteling belongs, and that is a huge priority for those brands who are in that market, because, as we spoke before, if you don't provide that experience, if you don't meet the expectation in the current competitive environment, then it becomes difficult to stay in business.
That's a great response. Thank you. Another question for Meiling. How long does it typically take for a brand to see results after implementing BSPK's clienteling platform?
Oh, it's a good question. It's actually very, very quick. I'm going to give you an example that is actually quite funny. I was deploying a brand, doing the training in one store, and they tested BSPK with their clients live, and they did a short video with a selection of products for this specific client. And while I was training, the client answered and said, I want this, and this item. And it happens that the owner of the company was here in the store and was like, whoa. So it was like an 8,000 euro sale that was done while I was training. So, I mean, it goes so quick, and you just multiply by the numbers of users, as simple as that. So to go back to the question before, where clienteling applies, when you have resources and people in the store that have a lot of waiting time, especially in luxury goods, because they don't have a lot of traffic, as soon as they connect with the client, the result come, every other client will respond positively or be happy to come back to the store. So yeah, it's very quick. But if I wanted to give you an average of a significant impact on the turnover, it's after 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months is the right time, because there is a training, everybody needs to adopt. We need a little bit of the headquarter to coach them and give them some tips how to clientele. And when everybody's on board and really, like confidence to contact clients, 2 to 3 months, we see a 30 to 40% turnover, extra additional sales.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Zornitza and Meiling, for sharing such valuable insights today. For everyone attending, if you're ready to elevate your customer experience and learn more about how BSPK's clienteling platform can transform your brand, we encourage you to reach out to us. Don't forget to check out the additional resources we've provided to get started. We hope you found today's webinar insightful and inspiring. And if you have any more questions or would like to schedule a demo with BSPK, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to continuing the conversation. And thank you, Zornitza and Meiling, again.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Katie.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.